nice to kind of know what the roadmap is and what the future is going to look like.
Yeah, for sure. I think from our perspective, like it's still only less than 2 weeks since we launched. We've been doing a lot of behind the scenes, and it's kind of like we have to find that balance. Trust me, I'm super excited to show you guys some of the stuff that we've been working on, but at the same time, I want to be just a little careful on one, maybe over promising or telling you some of the stuff that we're planning on working on, and if for some reason either we decide to pivot or things get delayed. And also, we don't want to just say everything we have planned ahead of time. The space moves quickly, and we want to focus on quality. And if we kind of bring up an idea, we feel like some of the stuff we're doing, a couple other projects might just kind of take it and run with it. So, but yeah, I hear you. I think what we're trying to achieve here is closing off that first roadmap that we posted on the website when we were launching the project. There's only a few things left there. Some of the koalas are getting airdropped today. We are eagerly waiting for the wallet address from the Koala Foundation that we're going to be donating money to, so we can get that. And then as soon as that's done, I will be posting a bit of a roadmap update with a few things that are coming up, not everything, and we'll deliver on that. And then from there, we'll look at building out a larger roadmap with longer term goals. So hopefully that helps.
Hey, do you know how I can share a tweet on Spaces?
As like share the link.
Yeah,
It's on the.
I just found out Josh Hart was trying to buy a koala like 4 hours ago, and saw it on the lounge, and that's huge news right there.
So you're trying to share it here? You can just grab it from Twitter and post it on the Koala main Twitter account, and we'll go poke it while we're listening here.
Sure.
Spooter, want to speak up? Do you have any questions or anything you want to mention to the community?
So one of the thing was mentioned in the Discord was that there are like a lot of celebs that are already in the community. Uh, do we know any of those, or are they discreet, or the list?
I guess you could say there's a variety of them. There's some that we're closer with, that we talk to regularly. There's a few that own koalas that I know and I talk to almost daily. There's others that like the project and got a couple. For example, to Gary V. He's been in and out a few times. He's been a great supporter of the project. We chat every now and then. But yeah, I think it's nice to have the support. Others will be more active than some of them, but for me, it's celebrity or not in terms of the community. It's just one other community member. If anyone's bringing any sort of positive engagement or adding any value to the project, I'm more than happy to have a celebrity or just have someone that's just normal, super engaging. But yeah, we are starting to get more and more. Like J3 said, not Josh Hart. We're starting to get a lot of athletes coming in, so I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think like that's gonna help like to kind of like build a community, like the yacht club, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I heard like some things like there were people in the LA area where they are the owners of the club or members of the club. So who are members of that yacht club kind of like get private access or entry into the clubs, and that sort of things kind of like build a community, I guess. So having those kind of people would also help to build that community and name also.
Yeah, I think Again, without getting into too many of the details, I know there's been a lot of community members wondering if we're going to have a community wallet. What are we going to be doing with it? I know the apes have one, and they've been giving grants to various different members running with different projects. And I think part of it is that we want to expand the community beyond just the Discord, right? Like we're starting to see a lot of members from all over the world. We have a huge community in Australia, quite a few people from South Africa, and I think that's by luck that a lot of the team members are from there. So we are looking at ways of expanding and even gathering some of these, creating meetups. I think part of the what we want to do too is we're going to have the geocache missions throughout different places in the world. We are potentially looking at the idea of hosting meetups within that specific area during a geocache whenever it goes up. So I think it might be good to, one, people are going to be in the area. It's easier for everyone to meet up and just actually get to hang out and chat in real life.
So,
But yeah,
so do we want to elaborate on that geocache missions? Like, what do they represent, and how do they work? Just kind of like to bring people up to speed who do not know about those.
yeah, so the first one we ran was in Toronto. We gave some coordinates, a couple of clues. There was a QR code hidden, and the idea was that if you find that QR code and you read it, it gives you some information. But if you actually have a koala in your wallet, you get to claim the price. And that was just the beginning. We have a couple of ideas of expanding, but really what we want to do is just create something fun, some sort of treasure hunt um, around the world for people in different cities for them to really participate. And the one that we currently did, it was the first one, what we would call quite simple. And we have a few ideas to really make them a little bit more complex, even some that might require a few koalas to work together, maybe multiple steps, multiple clues that you have to find a few things in order to get to the final thing. So really it's just coming up with more interactive ways for people to kind of have some fun and network and get together outside of the digital communities.
So, I mean, one other idea, I don't know if it's going to work out or not, like is like, so basically it's the similar concept of geocache locations. Like, so for example, if I have like a task that I want to do like in a different city, but I wouldn't be able to go there. It's not a big task. Maybe like going out and checking out on a car that I'm shopping around for, or a product that I'm looking for that's available in that store. And maybe I can find somebody in the community that could help me with, and I could transfer some kind of like an NFT, or I could pay the community member in some other way that could kind of also keep engaging and kind of like help, just kind of on a side note, that can be kind of like another tasks or something along those lines.
Yeah, like I said, there's so many options. Without promising anything, we're also getting into building the app, and that could also change a lot the way we do geo caching, and it might even be that it doesn't necessarily have to be physical location. It can be based on your geolocation on your phone. So then more people throughout the world can get involved. Like you don't have to move to a specific city to try to find something. But yeah,
If I can add to that, Lakos, we are actually developing the app, which would let us stamp or leave geocaches digitally. So you would have a kind of like a Pokemon Go view of like a AR representation of the world, and you'll get dropped, a coordinates, and then you'll have to find, that digital stamp in the AR. That's highly experimental at the moment. But to elaborate on your question there, the the QR code geocache we released last week is the simplest before you release something big, you want to test, you do a little trial run. This is the simplest case or the simplest task that we can assign to the agents, and that one was open to any koala holder. And I can confirm that going forward, some missions would be a little bit more difficult in terms of you know actually accessing the QR or the cache, and also we're only going to limit access to that task if you hold a certain koala with a certain role. Like if you gather from your koala's metadata, you have a role. You have generalist, black ops, field agent, engineer, and two others. And these are roles that we intentionally added to the metadata so that the harder missions, let's say, would be black ops, and you need to hold a black ops koala to participate in this mission, etc. etc. The sky is the limit in terms of the creativity um, that we can create going forward.
Sweet, thanks. I know there's a few people are want to come up on stage and ask some questions. Before I keep bringing people up, now that we're starting to have a decent amount of people here in the spaces, just wanted to mention a few things. I know we've been getting a lot of questions in the community about this, and there's also some concerns. So obviously, the first one is kind of what has happened to the floor, how come prices have dropped, and is it just this project? Is it not? So based on the post that we put up earlier today, we're actually seeing this across the entire NFT space, like the generative projects, and even including the Bored Ape Yacht Club. They've seen some pretty big drops in floor prices for some people just trying to liquidate. What I would say is that even though you're concerned short term, this is still only a tiny little blip in the whole um, project and roadmap. And even then, like a lot of people might be new and they're like, oh, first project we've minted, we're only a week or 10 days in. The space itself is somewhat volatile. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to boom, it's going to crash. But what you really have to do is kind of be patient and look at that long-term, have that long-term approach, sorry. And that's how we're looking at things. We are just getting started. We're just about to start building and delivering on some of the ideas that we have for the community. So for us, are we happy that the floor is dropping? Obviously not. We would love to stay at where it was. But I think this is also an opportunity to really build that foundation, find the right community members, people that are not just going to flip on one day or people that get stressed. Like this is a long-term thing that we're trying to build, both from an NFT perspective, but also community perspective. And I think for the most part, everyone's been pretty friendly and understanding within the community. There's been a couple of people that have expressed their feelings in a little bit more of a direct way, but all we want to do is really create something cool for everyone here, and then something that's really going to last for a long time. So as I mentioned before in the post too, is I'm not concerned about this. A lot of people say it as a joke, but like it's only a loss if you sell. To an extent, it's true. Your initial investment's already in. I would say just be part of the community, stay active, let us build some stuff, and we promise that you guys are going to get excited with what's coming down the road. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was kind of like these spin-offs. I know a lot of people got airdropped the kind of like the comic token or pass. We're going to start seeing a few other spin-offs of koalas. It's quite common for everyone that's been around since the apes started. It's actually one of the things that made the project so successful is that the community members started creating their own little side projects based on the original one or based on their actual ape NFTs that they had. So from our perspective, there is a bit of a balance between what they can do with the brand and the IP. But at the same time, we're excited that people really are getting creative and building some pretty cool stuff out there. And it's actually how a lot of the sub communities for the apes got created. And we're already starting to see some of these sub communities building within our Discord. I think one of the strongest ones that seems to be going around is the Tracksuit Gang. And honestly, I think it's awesome. Like if we are a big community, if you find kind of the like-minded group within that community, I think it's going to be even better. So we will try to clarify and make it as simple as possible in terms of which is an official project and which isn't. And at the same time, we're talking to these other community members that are creating these projects just to make sure that they differentiate themselves from the projects, just to avoid any sort of confusion, or we just don't want to be misleading someone from the community thinking that this is a backed project by the team, when in fact it's some enthusiastic community members that they want to create their own cool projects. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, I'm also looking at the M8A questions channel in the Discord, and if you want to post them up. But I will try to get people up here as much as possible. Before I bring anyone else on stage, we have a few team members. We'd love to hear from someone else if anyone has anything else to say or mention. Crypto K.I.A has been a great mod in the team, and maybe he can also provide his perspective on what the experience has been like from his side.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely up for that. I came in right after Mint. I actually tried to mint and couldn't get it because this project blew up so fast. So as you can see, I have kind of this half profile going on. I wanted in so bad because I saw this community and everything that was being built. And I actually went in on half of a koala with one of my friends. And we've been loving this community ever since. So I dove straight in and just wanted to lend a helping hand because I saw what was being built here. This is something special. You don't see this in many communities. I've seen something like this in one other one, and it still doesn't compare. So I felt that something was really going on here. The team behind this is an A1 team. We are doing everything that we can. I know the devs are working endlessly, tirelessly. I think one of it was J3 or you, Laux, that mentioned you got like 2 hours of sleep last night. I mean, they were putting in countless hours of work.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go through Gen sometimes and we see the panic and everything about the floor and different things, we do mean the best when we're trying to explain that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we just can't mention yet, and big things are coming. I'm very excited for where this is heading.
Awesome, thanks. If does anyone else from the team want to jump in quickly, or should we start getting a few of the listeners up here?
Hey guys, I just want to say hi to everyone, and I'm so happy to see so many familiar koalas in the house, Walla Walla gang, and I'm so like I just want to hop on to what Lacos was saying about the koala comic that we are not affiliated with, but I am actually a part of the Discord server, and I'm such a fan of them and their work, and I love what they're doing. So I'm actually still going to be supporting them. And it's so fun for me actually to see so many of these extra projects popping up and to see people so proud of their koalas. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what your questions are, and just hit us and we'll be sure to answer them.
Sweet. All right, well, I think it's pronounced Mladik. I know you've been eager to come up on stage and speak, so it's finally your turn.
No, yeah. Hi, thank you. So yeah, it's Melodic. Also, Chris. I do have a podcast as well that I recently launched for NFTs. So I'd say that koalas are definitely by far my favorite project. And one of the reasons that it is my favorite project is simply I was an early mentor. I really liked the art right off the bat. And the thing that got me about it is just like how quickly the community built. Like when I'm buying an NFT, like there are little things you want to flip, but like the primary reason that I would hold something is that you like the art, but more than that, you like the community, right? And that is really what I feel like we're building here. So one thing I want to say, if no one else volunteers to do weekly spaces, I would love to host that because I want to make sure that happens because it's I think it'd be it's a pillar. You're gonna find out who your real fans are, the people that show up to the spaces, the people who are talking. So I think making sure we get that done weekly would be important. And if no one else wants to host it, I'd be happy to do so. But one of the things I think about with the koalas, and obviously we're so early, so we're still developing this, but it's like ultimately what you're building is a brand. This is an organization with a brand, and we have to, and you think about how we're going to market this. How do we want to come off? And early projects, and you're buying the art, you're buying the hype, but ultimately we have to stand for something. We need to represent something. Like, what are we going to represent? Like, why buy a koala instead of something else, right? And one of the things that's nice about us is we literally have these countries where koalas are a big uh, part of their culture. So I guess my question is, what is the ultimate vision to position us? Like, are you going to buy a koala because you love animals, you love koalas, and we're going to do a lot of supporting for koalas, or are we going to be more of a lifestyle brand, or are we going to be utility driven? A lot of those things are probably unanswered at this point, but like, what is the team stance on like the vision for where this ends up?
Yeah, I think at the core is a community, building community first, in the sense that we have people from all over the world. Everyone's kind of coming into NFTs. We're spending more and more time online. So we really want to build a strong community, not only within Discord, but that's also where we're looking at developing that app, K.I.A app, because we really want to facilitate those introductions, facilitate those networking abilities. We want to make it a place where you have information that you need, a place where you can hang out. So that's really the focus, the primary focus. After that, yeah, like obviously we want to build a pretty cool brand that people can easily relate to, both that you can represent obviously online through your profile pictures and whatnot, but also something that you can also show in the physical world to the rest of the people. We're the charity side of things. For us, it's more of a something we wanted to do, especially with all the wildlife fires and everything that happened in Australia. It was about 3 years ago. So that's why we want to kind of give back to that. And we obviously felt like since we decided to go with koalas, that was going to be a perfect fit. But yeah, like think of it as a blue chip project, right? Like right now, the Bored Ape Yacht Club is one of probably the highest profile project out there. And I don't want to say we want to be like them because I don't want to copy everything that they've been doing, but we want to get to that stature. We want to be known around the world. We want people to recognize us, and not only for like, oh, that profile picture, that NFT is worth X amount of dollars. We want to be recognized. I'm like, oh, that's a dope community that it's very welcoming. You can easily network. There's a lot of stuff in there. So that's kind of what we want to do with it. But yeah, hopefully
If I may
that
add, to the grand vision, everything that Claus said is on point and 100%. When we were in the drawing phase, the biggest part that differentiates us from the other projects is the narrative of the koalas. We're secret agents who are going to save the world. That's the entire narrative from the very beginning, and there's nothing you can say about other projects that have that same, slogan, so to speak. Like, I can't think of anything right now that has a unifying slogan. The whole point of it is we're recruiting koalas that will have the best intentions in saving the world. That could be from anything uh, involving climate change, saving endangered animals or promoting education. Um, we may not have the facilities to organize the capital that we have in our control. But certainly what I can confirm is the Roadmap V2 will have a more official, I mean, to cut it short, we're going to have a DAO, but that will, facilitate the decision making uh, more giving it more to the community rather than us, who, we're just four people. And now we're giving the decision to you guys, to the agency. And so we can now vote on, campaigns we want to participate in. And this is something that we're working on heavily for V2. So to answer your question, we're here to save the world, and that's the short of it.
No, I appreciate that. And I guess just while I'm up here, I just wanted to say thank you very much for all the hard work you're doing. I think we're in it for a lot of good, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Joe, I'm going to be bringing you up next. Go ahead, Joe. You might be muted. While we are waiting for Joe to speak, just looking at a couple of questions that are coming through in the Discord. Do koala owners own the IP of their own koala? Yes. So each koala you actually own in your wallet, you own the commercial rights to that, which means you can license it out. You can do derivatives and sell them. You can put your koala on clothing, merch, whatever you'd like, and you can monetize it. The kind of two main things that are unavailable for collectors would be the actual brand name and our official logo. That being said, is if you would like to use it for commercial purposes, please reach out to the team. There can always be some sort of licensing agreement, or we can allow you to use it under very unique circumstances. But if you own the koala, it is you can do whatever you'd like with it. Joe, are you good to chat?
Hello?
There we go. How's it going? Hey, can you hear us? We'll bring someone up in the meantime while you think you figure out your speaker issues. Lou, how's it going, man?
Hey, Koalas, how's it going?
Good,
Hey, Jay.
good.
Dax. Hey,
Hey,
team.
Luke.
Hey Lou, I know your name.
Yeah, seen you guys around.
Ghost Koala.
First of all, I just want to say thanks for building this. I'm sure the success was a shock for you guys, and you guys have handled it really well. So just wanted to say a quick thanks. I guess my question kind of revolves around the whole idea of 10K profile pictures as a whole. Like we all know, they're kind of a dime a dozen. So how do we kind of differentiate ourselves? You kind of touched on the whole saving the world aspect of it, but how do we take advantage of the community that we have while we have it? And another thing is that we kind of talked about this in the Gen chat in Discord, but for most of the koala holders, it's possibly, I get the feeling that it's their first NFT. So how do we keep them interested and not just, flock to the next hot thing that comes out? And then thirdly, like you said, you have a roadmap V2 coming out. Is there anything that you can share in terms of what you guys are doing that isn't quote unquote cookie cutter? Thanks.
All right, I'll try to remember all the questions in order. So actually, I already forgot the first one. I'll start in terms of new people and new community members and minting. I think the main thing is building that aspect of community, keeping the Discord fun, and I think Momo's been doing a great job. She's also organizing some other events throughout the week, and really making people feel like they're home, right? Because like you said, there's so many other projects. I think this past Monday, maybe 14 or 15 projects launched on the same day. So there's just way too much happening in the space. I think really is trying to make people feel comfortable, trying to explain of why we're seeing some of these things happen in the space of like people dumping, floor prices dipping, just so they understand it. Because I was there at one point almost a year ago, where you buy your first NFT, you feel great, you see it go up, and then it kind of dips, and you're like, oh God, what's happening now? So I think it's just being helpful, explain them what's happening, like everyone else that's in the community as a whole. They don't necessarily have to go to mods. Like if you're seeing someone that has some questions that you know the answer, please feel free to jump on board and help them out, have those discussions. That's also why we're building some of the other sub community channels and a few other things to really make people feel at home and feel like they can come in here and just ask questions, learn about other projects, and really feel comfortable. Now going back to the first question in terms of profile pictures, how we can kind of take advantage of really our community and stuff. So, and this is actually how J3 and I met, was that part of the ape club and community that was formed is that every single time you saw an ape on Twitter, you kind of automatically follow. But also I would say start a conversation with them. And that's how J3 and I connected. And I think the Koalas have been really strong in the Twitter community. We've been doing great at following each other, resharing, retweeting, and all that. So I would say that go a little bit beyond just sharing people's content and actually just reach out, have a conversation, get to know other community members. A lot of times what I do is I'll find a profile picture of a koala, I'll follow them, but also go and look at their profile and see what their background is. My background is marketing, strategic development. So for the most part, any other person that I see that has that in their profile, I'll just shoot them a message or even a DM and just start a conversation with them. And that's really something that will help you in this space, is just finding those relationships and really getting to know people. And I think that's also how you're going to start hearing about other projects, what to kind of get involved with, what to stay away, who to talk to, and really provide support where it's needed. And the last question in terms of what we have planned without getting into too many details. So one thing that I can say that is, it's quite different, and I don't think really anyone's been looking at the space from this perspective, is that these profile pictures for a lot of us mean more than just the koala itself, right? Like the profile picture, a lot of the times it's a representation of your identity online. And what we are seeing is that a lot of times people do find kind of like that one NFT that they vibe with, that there's kind of like their spiritual profile picture. It's perfect, it represents them, and they go and get it. But a lot of the times you get stuck with an NFT that maybe doesn't fully represent you, or something that you want to change, or even something that you were into when you first got into NFTs at 6 months down the road that changes. So one thing that I'm a strong believer in is the idea of personalization. Really, how can we then personalize these profile pictures or NFTs that we own to kind of really represent who we are in the community? So without getting into too many details, because I don't want to say something that I'm not supposed to, I would say that, yeah, per, personalization is a big thing that we're trying to achieve with the project that I don't think anyone else has really done it so far.
That's awesome. Thanks. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can become in the future. One last thing, if you have a sec, are any of the celebrity we obviously have had a few celebrities and influencers buy into the koalas. Has any of that been non-organic, or has that all been organic?
I think 99% has been organic. I don't think we've actually, we haven't paid anyone and giving them a free koala to kind of shill it for us. Especially some of the bigger ones have jumped in themselves. I know a couple others. I've talked to them behind the scenes, and that's how they ended up coming into the project. But I didn't offer them a koala in exchange for a retweet or something like that. Like I know Troy is a well-known individual in the space. Him and I were talking for a while, way before we even launched the project. So then we created that. We had that relationship. We were just chatting, and then he started asking about it. Then he jumped in. So I think for the most part, and one of the reasons why the project was so successful is that it really connected with the community. And yeah, some of the other, I think, celebrities that have joined has been a team effort, I think, from all the koalas on our daily tag 'em mission that we've been running. So I think that's also been helpful. So I thank you all for getting on Twitter and making sure they know who we are. And a lot of you have been telling them all about the community and how great it is. And that's actually kind of converted a few of these other celebrities to really jump in and get on the project.
Awesome. Thanks again, guys, for doing this Twitter Spaces. Hopefully we can make it a consistent thing.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks.
I just want to touch on that a little bit, Lacos. Hey guys, it's Momo. I know you guys have been asking me to speak in the Discord in general chat. Hi guys, it's Momo. When you asked if our if our promotion and stuff were all organic, we definitely got offers though. We've been getting offers to give people, ETH or a free koala or just an incentive in general for them to promote us on any of the social media platforms. And we've definitely told all of them that we're trying to keep everything organic and 100% to people that genuinely enjoys the project, that loves the koalas, that see the potential in the team, see the potential in the project and what we're trying to build, so we can keep it clean and keep it organic. So just touch on that a little bit, but also to touch on the community. Now, I might sound a little biased when I say this, but I genuinely think we have the best community in K.I.A. in the space. And it's like, what makes a space so great? What makes the community so great? It's everyone kind of being together and working together and having the same mindset of, yes, we are a community. This is our home. This is our family. We will build each other up. We are happy for each other's successes. We try to make the project as much of a success as we can together, everyone working together as a team. And you kind of feel that team spirit and the vibe, the feeling of a family. And we have so many different things on the Discord server, which I hope you guys are all a part of because it's so much fun there. I mean, the members are always in general chat. We're always having banter with each other. And the team itself has this kind of friendship family vibe. It's not just like strictly work and like, hey guys, you got to come into work and it's like crunch time. And no, every single day we go there, we greet each other, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you're from. And we just chill out and we talk and we have banter and we joke around and stuff. So it's really honestly such a great community. And it just became like that. We weren't trying to be anything else. We weren't trying to be, we weren't trying to be this. We just became this because of the community that we have. And we definitely owe so much of our success to the community that we have in the Discord server and on Twitter as well. And we're so grateful to you guys, honestly. And we work so hard, like the dev team and all the mods and everything behind the scenes. But none of this could have been possible without any of your support. So we are definitely so grateful to all of you. And I think I tell you guys this a lot in general chat as well, but it's nice to be able to tell you this with my own voice. So thank you guys so much for all your support on this project. And thanks to the dev team and the crew, the entire crew, all the mods. You guys all work so flipping hard, man. And it pays off and it's worth it at the end of the day. I love working with you guys so much and I'm just grateful for this project and everything in general. So I mean, if you're not already on the Discord server, you guys are missing out. Come join us. We have games nights. We listen to lo-fi music. I just got off a session in the Discord, listening to lo-fi, and I fall asleep sometimes even with you guys on call, and it's so much fun. So come chill out with us. I mean, we try to make the place as best as we can, and we try to respond to all of you as best and as fast as we can as well. So thank you so much for being patient with us. Thank you for all your questions and just thank you for all your support on the entire project. You guys are doing amazing.
Thanks, Momo. Before Danny, I called you up, but before that, I'm already starting to get a few questions about my comments around personalization. I knew I should have probably stayed quiet on that, but don't panic. There is not going to be any sort of changes to rarities. The actual Koala NFTs are going to stay as is. And it is a fine line that we're playing with, but the idea is that the 10K koalas are going to stay as is. It's just some of the stuff that we're building on top of that I think you guys are going to like. So don't panic. Your laser eyes are not going to disappear tomorrow, nor is going to be your rare for any of those traits. But yeah, Danny, do you have any questions for the team, or do you want to just speak up?
Yes, hi. Really happy to be here. Huge success so far, and I'm really happy to be a member of this community. Looking forward, like the way I see NFTs in general, it's that they stand at the forefront of digital art revolution in terms of technology. And the profile picture projects are essentially, in my opinion, are like a members only club kind of thing. And I really like the way we formed the community, and I'm following it literally every day, like day and night. I cheer for this project. But the way I see for us to progress forward is that since majority of the NFT investors and Koala purchasers are crypto native people, they really envision the metaverse side of the NFTs. So my suggestion would be, like I actually posted them in the channels as well, like what if we create a DAO, or at least like start with creating a NFTX vault. That way we could actually stabilize the floor prices. Another thing, when we say about the personalization of the koalas, like for example, I own 9 koalas, and there is some koalas I would like to swap, for example, that I don't feel any attachment to. Imagine, for example, if people could actually burn their 2 koalas to get a rare koala, or to get any koala that they would like to create this gamification and actually reduce the koala supply. This way it would actually be beneficial in my opinion. The other thing is that for the metaverse, my idea is that what if we actually 3D render all of the koalas for them to be able to be like avatars in the metaverse. That would be actually cool. Or purchase a land for koalas. Like these kind of projects are actually like booming right now. I'm looking at the trends like with NFTs, and like you all guys see right now, the loot project, for example, it's actually crazy, like the volumes that they are putting right now. And it's simply people are building things on top of the already existing loot project. So in my opinion, the most important thing is to keep the community engaged beyond just let's chill in a Discord chat together. Because myself being like a blockchain entrepreneur, let's say, and I am in many NFT projects, but the way I see right now is that the ones that gonna go forward are the ones that gonna implement this technology. So, for example, staking or yield farming on your koalas, let's say lending based on your koalas, like these decentralized finance opportunities are really hot right now for NFTs. That's it.
Thank you for that, Danny. If I may just speak, being the lead dev of this project, we are exploring all options, including DeFi applications of the koalas, and we're also exploring DAOs, as we've mentioned earlier. And we're definitely going to confirm that we do have metaverse plans for Roadmap V2. That being said, these are goals that we are aiming to hit once we finalize the first promise that we kind of put out there with Roadmap V1. And a lot of our, let's say, work in V1 will definitely carry over to V2. And the success of V1 will definitely play a big role going forward. Like we can build a DAO like tomorrow, like sure, but we need to like also, you know, plan carefully and plan responsibly, because once we go into DAOs, then we're gonna be, you know, we might have to change our or business type, because now we're providing financial services and stuff. So that's a consideration we're always balancing. But the DAO is definitely being considered for V2, and I think you touched on a lot of our V2 hopes and dreams. But for now, our main goal is V1, and we're approaching that conclusion soon. Um, yeah, I can confirm that we do have we already have the DCL, Decentraland domain, secured. We're gonna purchase land, and yeah, this is gonna get bigger and bigger. Keep in mind, I appreciate the suggestions; those are solid, and yeah, I think going forward, we need to be, you know, we don't want to like overstep our core missions, because like once we tread into DeFi financial services, it could be, you know, could be out of our goals per se. The Board Ape Yacht Club, they have an NFTX pool, and that is, I believe, an ape or community run and managed. So like, if anyone wants to start that pool, feel free. We'll provide all the support that we can, but it's just not in our V1 goals, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and just to quickly add to that, like we had our initial plan, and we're building, right? Like, and some of the stuff that we're seeing too is projects we're planning this for months and months ago. So we don't want to fully commit to something that hasn't been completely thought out on our end. But we will say that we've heard a lot of really good ideas. We're working on the ones that make sense to us, and really our focus is to deliver a high quality product and not just rush into things.
Thank you very much, guys, for the answers.
Yeah, no problem. Keyless, how's it going? Oh, did we lose him? Keyless, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, there we go. How's it going?
Oh, hey, everybody. Thanks so much. My name is Ben, and thanks so much to the team. This has been awesome already. Love the spaces, and appreciate everything you guys have shared tonight. Just two quick things, really. First, just a word of encouragement. I just really love the leadership and love especially the communication on this project, and really wanted to affirm you all and encourage that. The announcements on the Discord are great. I love the level of detail. It's clear you guys are thinking about that carefully, and I think it's a huge benefit to the community, and it's something that's going to help the community sort of coalesce and become stronger. Just that communication and leadership from the top. I work in a space where do a lot of work with a lot of different startups and venture capital, and it kind of hits me that like this NFT space is really like, it really is a startup and venture capital space. You just happen to have like 4,700 different VC backers, and you know, it's just sort of a new paradigm for that. But obviously there's a lot of challenges there, but I think you guys are handling it fantastic. I think it's just very bullish for the project overall, the way you're going about it. So that was my first thing, just to encourage you there and just say great job. My second thing is a question, and it goes to sort of some of the core mission statements that you've made tonight and that I've gathered over the past week or so. And I think for me, a huge part of building the community is going to be the crossover between the digital and the analog, and being able to build connections, hopefully in the analog world and the physical world. And just wondering if that's an aspect that y'all are thinking of. Obviously, things like the Geocache Zero sort of had a physical analog component, obviously. And I know other projects are thinking about that. So just curious your views on you know, where you see that fitting in your plan, and in terms of whether it's in-person events, like real life community events, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think as I think I touched on it earlier tonight, is I do want to provide that opportunity for our community members to meet up, and I think at the same time this is again like the idea of community. More than happy if people have recommendations, if people want to take the lead on this sort of stuff. Part of I think what the idea of having a community wallet and potentially giving grants out for some of these things, I think that'd be great. A friend of mine, Josh, he runs a lot of the APE in-person meetings, and I think that's great. Like, you find cities where we have some of the larger groupings of koalas, and if people want to get together, we'll for sure try to facilitate if we can't physically be there. But we will support, and then as we grow, if that's something that people want to continue doing, and we can help with funding or we can help organize, we would be more than happy to do so. One of the things too, like, I am going to be in New York for the NFT NYC conference. So if any of you are planning on going, hit me up. I'll even try to see if we can get a bunch of koalas somewhere all together, so we can actually introduce each other and get to know each and every one of you. But I think for a community to really survive the test of time, like, it has to be beyond just digital, because from my perspective, the bond that you can also build with someone both digitally and when actually meeting them in person is a lot stronger, and I would love for people to really be able to connect at that level.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sweet. Oh, I think J3 advanced out. Awesome. All right, who else is up here? Hungover. I'm going to be calling you up. Go ahead. Hungover, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you very much, guys. I just wanted to piggyback on that last conversation that you guys had, and I just said one of my least favorite phrases, which is I'd like to piggyback. So I apologize to all of you for that. But I come from a completely different world here. I come from sales. I own a plumbing manufacturer's representative company, so nothing related to online NFTs or anything, but it is related to spreading your company name, your brand out there, not only with your own team but through other individuals. And I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I wanted to say I think that so far this team, the Koala dev team, you guys have done a fantastic job of providing content, and we all know content is king. Someone just mentioned the announcements you guys have been putting on the Discord are fantastic. You put a little note in there saying, "Hey, let us know if you like this content." Absolutely. The more information, especially information about just NFTs in the market in general that you guys provide, I think the better. The more content, the more times that red number comes up for the Koala Discord, the better. And so I think you guys have done a very good job of it. And I think it should continue. I think the geocaching, getting that out as quickly as you did was amazing. Hitting the market fast and hard and leaning in on your success is very important. And you guys have done a very good job of that. And I'd like to kind of turn this conversation around towards the community. And I'd like to point out, probably you guys heard from people, hey, we should have a Koala Twitter Spaces because there's been so much success with the Bored Apes on Twitter Spaces. And I just wanted to point out to everybody listening and to the community that, Farouk and Oshiny and these guys, they're not paid by the Bored Apes to do this stuff. They're doing it on their own, and they're community members that support the project and are passionate about the product and project, and they're doing all of this on their own. People are making their own derivative art pieces. People are making their own music related to it, and that's the community. They're not doing that. The devs of Discord or of Bored Apes is not pushing that. They're doing it on their own. So it's up to us as a community to really push this brand forward as well. And for those of you that are sitting there thinking like, oh, nobody cares what I have to say, or nobody cares, about my art, you're wrong. You're wrong. This community cares. You'll see way more support than you ever thought you would ever get from this community. I've been an amateur photographer my entire life and never sold a thing. Threw some stuff up as NFTs, and I've made a couple grand in selling photos that I took 5-10 years ago. So I think I just wanted to put that out there to the community. You guys, you will see support, and the more content that you can create around this brand, the better it will be for the entirety of the brand. So that's just my 2 cents, and nothing for you guys. I think you guys are doing an awesome job. As long as you keep it up and keep up the content, that's what matters. So thank you.
Thanks. That's no, that means a lot. And if there's anything we can do to facilitate those, please reach out to us. We would love to start seeing people coming up with their own things, seeing how they can do. Basically bringing your skill set, your experience, your passion into the community. Tell us what you want to do. Tell us what you want to see, and we'll do whatever we can to support each and every one of you. And yeah, like that, we do want to see people kind of starting their own stuff. And if you have questions, or if you're not sure what you should be doing or how you should go about, reach out. A lot of us have been in this space for quite some time, and if not, I am sure I could probably find 1 or 2 people that would probably be able to help you out. So we are around. I'm not as engaged as I wish I could be in the community some days, but honestly, it's because I'm trying to make some moves and develop some pretty cool stuff for you guys. But we have an amazing team of behind the community, and please reach out to them. They'll make sure I get the message. if I haven't responded. But yeah, like we also have to keep in mind that it's still like we haven't even been in this space for 2 weeks, right? The project launched last Monday. Board Apes has been around for 4 months, but really it's that initiative from the community that's going to set us apart from a lot of these other communities. So I welcome everyone to do something they're passionate about. Um, and even if it's spaces, it doesn't have to be spaces for koalas. Like if you're passionate about spaces and having open conversations and specific topics, we will also support you. That's the whole idea of the community that we're trying to build up here, is really supporting each other in what our passions are. Just in terms of time, I know we have a couple of members from places around the world that are starting to get pretty late. I think originally we were trying to keep it to within an hour. It's the first one around. I know quite a lot of people are still kicking around. So if people want to hop off, feel free. I'll stick around for a little bit longer. I know a couple other people want to jump on stage. So I'll continue to welcome people up and we can still chat. But yeah, again, I want to thank everyone for showing up. This is awesome. And we promise that we'll turn this into a weekly thing for sure. I know, Joe, you've been also waiting to speak for a little bit, so I'm going to be bringing you up to hear what you want to say.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, we can hear you.
Hello?
Hello? Joe, are you able to hear us? Okay, well, Joe, we'll give you a little bit more time to get your stuff set up. In the meantime, I'll just be going through some of the questions that we've had on the Discord. So moving the metadata to a decentralized service like IPFS. J3, do you want to jump on that? And I know you were looking at that and you probably have a better sense of timing around it.
Yes. So after we release the hidden crates, we can definitely start to move to IPFS and freezing that metadata. Yeah, so that's within, if I'm going to give a timeline, I would say less than 3 weeks we should be in IPFS. And yeah, we want to get off Amazon as fast as we can because we are following the decentralized ethos of Ethereum. And I can guarantee you guys that we're not going to be relying on Amazon in the future.
One other question, it was highlighted in one of the sorry, write-ups that were done, and someone asked if there were any Australians on the team and what was the inspiration behind the koalas. So there's actually no Australians on the team. There's a couple of us in Canada and a couple of people in South Africa, but no Australians. But maybe I will let J3 speak on the inspiration behind the koala.
Honestly, I would love to tell you the exact inspiration I had, but I feel like I'll have a couple of lawsuits on my ass after, you know. But I will say that, yeah.
I was gonna say we can leave it at it. The main reason is that it is your spiritual animal, and it has been your entire life.
That's 100% true. So I'm gonna get a bit emotional here, guys, but the first stuffy I've ever had in my life was a little koala I got from Toronto Zoo. It's like a small little guy. I can send you guys a picture if you want proof. I still have it. I'm like damn near 30 and I still have that little toy. I love koalas. They're so cute and I love it's just my spirit animal. And in the future, when we do finalize some collaborations, I can reveal the exact inspiration I've had for the K.I.A. But for now, I want to keep it legally safe. So just know that the koalas are awesome.
Awesome. Joe, last chance. If not, we might have to circle back. Oh, I think he hopped off. All right. Who else is wanting to chat? Culture, how's it going? Culture, are you around? Do you hear us?
Hey there, can you hear me?
There we go. How are you?
Good, good.
That was actually me who asked that question in the Discord, and if you can't tell by my accent, it is not a head cold. I am a legitimate Australian. So it was just fascinating because I've been living, I'm currently actually based in Mexico City, but I've been living in the United States the last 6 years, and one of my favorite stories to share whenever I get in an Uber or Lyft is telling people about like how much do they know about koalas, because everyone always asks me about Australia and everyone always says, oh, you know, like I want to go to Australia, I want to hold a koala. I'm like, oh, do you know anything about them? They go, yeah, they're so cute. And then I tell them like, actually, the realities about koalas and that like
they're smelly and they're aggressive. Because
Yep.
I've been to Australia, so yeah, they look kind of like pandas. Like they look cute, but not exactly true.
Exactly. And I'm like, so actually they sit there and they eat eucalyptus all day. So they're high as a kite. They're riddled with chlamydia. And every time you go to the zoo or like a place to go see them, they're usually asleep because they keep strange hours. So that usually, like, I've had an Uber driver pull over once from crying and laughter because he had absolutely no idea and I shattered his dreams. But I love that you're choosing them as secret agents and things like that, because I actually feel like they do have the possibility to live a double life because they really don't do much for the majority of the day. So I actually think there's a lot of inspiration there. And I've just found this community really fascinating. Like I'm a community builder myself. I've built communities in the mental health space in Australia and then in the tech space out in the United States. And to me, I think the future of community building is being written right now in the NFT space. So I originally joined one, just to educate myself about how people are building community, but two, because I have to support the koalas. So I've got a couple. I'll certainly look to get a few more. And if you ever need a legitimate Australian voice in these spaces, feel free to hit me up. This is my NFT account that I use, and I'm just here to tweet about culture and community building. So just keep up the good work.
Nice. I kind of do feel like we do need an Aussie accent in our events just to kind of make people feel at home. Go with the koalas.
All right. Well, I'm here. Hit me up.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Does anyone else want to come up or ask any questions?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, sorry, I just wanted to jump in real quick and introduce myself. My name is Newbot. Anyone from the Discord might have known me. I'd like to thank everyone so much for coming to the spaces today. This community is really awesome. It's what actually grabbed me in. Like I came into the community as from the sneaker community actually, and I just came in and started looking around. Thought the koalas looked really dope, and then just started talking with people. And next thing you know, I'm getting really, really deep into the whole life of it all, and I couldn't be more happier to be on this rocket ship. The community is so amazing and so welcoming that it's like almost a little overwhelming sometimes because of like I guess being so new to it all. Like this is 100% new to me, but I'm so like gifted and blessed that this community is so amazing and everyone's here. So I guess that's about it. Thank you.
Oh, nice to have you part of the community and the team. Really happy with everyone on the team, and I think Momo kind of touched on that. Like we had our first full team call last Friday, and it was such a great call because everyone just we all were pretty chill. We connected, pretty relaxed. So it's nice to be in this community with all of you, both team members and community members. what I'm starting to realize is that I'm spending a lot of time in the Discord and just in Twitter talking with a lot of you guys. So I do appreciate everyone, one, being welcoming, reaching out, talking, and please reach out at any time with any questions, either to myself or the team. And if I don't answer, eventually I will. Honestly, since we launched, my DMs have been kind of flooded with a lot of people reaching out, but I will try to prioritize community ahead of everyone else. All right, Joe, last chance. See if we can make it work this time. No. I think it's not meant to be. Try to add you as a speaker, but it's not clicking. There we go. Joe, can you hear us? There we go.
It wasn't working. It wasn't working on my phone. Whenever you started talking and made me a speaker, the volume just stopped, and it would not work on my computer. So I had to reinstall the app.
All good. Okay. We can hear you fine now.
Okay, great. So, so I heard you saying before that you want us to be community driven, but you want to link the digital world to the real world. And I know that we're starting to do that through the geocache, and there's the idea of the Twitter spaces and the meetups. I threw this out there already, and I know you guys heard it, but I haven't heard what you thought of it, of the idea of official merch for the koalas, like that you could have like the logo on the back, and maybe you'll be able to like send in your koala or something and get like kind of a custom design. So that's one thing I have a suggestion for. And another thing I see people doing in the NFT space that are focused around community-oriented projects is the idea of royalties. So I was just wondering what you thought about that. I'm very excited to hear that we have metaverse content confirmed as well, along with the fact that the idea of unique wallet addresses is steadily increasing, even though the NFT space is getting hit pretty hard right now. So I just wanted to hear what you thought about that.
Yeah, in terms of merch, all I'm going to say is I can't confirm nor deny that there will be any coming up in the near future. But I think it is something that a lot of us, especially some of us have been in the NFT space for some time now, and with COVID too, now that kind of things are starting to open back up, people are starting to kind of go out and start gathering again. There's some countries that had some pretty tough lockdowns compared to others. I think more and more we do want to kind of flex what we've been doing in the NFT space in real life. So that's definitely something that we're looking at facilitating. Anything that would come from the project would obviously have the official logo and branding. But there's going into the idea of like community initiatives is there's a lot of people that are creating and setting up their own merch lines with their own koalas and stuff like that. And we're happy also to facilitate with that. There's a lot of custom shops out there that for sure will take it. One thing that I am working on to trying to get our collection in, and I can actually speak to that is, I think it's Maddie's NFT something, but basically what they do is once you're on board the collection, you can actually get like connect your wallet and get your koala, call it whitelisted, and you can get it on mugs, you can get it on t-shirts, you can get it on hats. But what's nice is that it's listed and it goes in the shop. And if someone else were to purchase a T-shirt with your specific koala, you would be getting royalties from that. So they have a few projects in there. I originally connected with them with the apes. So I think that's one opportunity. In terms of royalties, there's some projects out there that the actual NFT holders get a royalty directly from the transactions. For us, like the apes or some of the other ones, is you can start looking at the fact that you own the commercial rights for your koala, so you can actually license it out. So, for example, we obviously talked about that comic being put together by other community members. There's something similar happening with the apes, where actually a few of us have licensed our apes out to be featured in the comic and be part of the comic. So then it's either a revenue sharing model or depending on what the agreement is. But how you can look at it is that you own those commercial rights. So you can license your own koalas out for whatever venture you find without any issues. And at the same time, I would say that because you're the owner, protect your NFT, but also protect the brand in the sense that you handing it out for free, it doesn't provide you any sort of added value. Depending on the venture, it might get exposure, which is good. But then also, like, there's a lot of people going around just asking for free. If they can use your koala for free, they'll do a derivative, sell it, and you won't see anything. And now you have a derivative for your koala out there without you having anything to do with it. So yeah, from that sense, like, there's ways that you can definitely monetize your NFTs without selling them. If anyone has any other questions with that in terms of this particular topic, please let me know. If we have a lot of people wondering what options are out there, I'll be happy to do a post about it. And also, I know we're finalizing some of the wording to really explain properly the difference between the koala commercial rights and the brand itself and what people can do with them.
Okay, thank you. That answered my question.
Awesome, thanks. All right, we'll get. I'm looking at the time. For me, I'm EST time. It's 9:20. We'll go maybe for another 15 or 20 minutes, depending on how people want to keep going, and if not, we can we'll call it then. But yeah, so who else is here wanting to speak? Crypto E26, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? So I just wanted to come on here. I'm Iavi on Discord. I just wanted to shout out the devs on here. You guys are really great, and I just can't find myself, like, I just keep on going on Discord and just interact with people and help people out. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really high on this project, and I like what you guys are doing. And yeah, I just wanted to congratulate you guys on the success you guys had, and I'm proud to be a part of this community. Yeah, that's really it.
Awesome, thanks. We're happy that you're part of it.
Yep,
I think I've seen you around the Discord a few times.
Yeah, I try to be active. I'm actually trying to learn code myself right now, so I have a little bit of free time when I'm not doing that. So I just yeah, I mean, I'm happy to be a part of the community, and yeah, that's about it. Sorry, I have like stage fright, and I'm not even talking in front of anybody.
That's all right. Don't worry.
All right, yeah. Congrats, and success is ahead.
Awesome. Thank you.
You too.
All right. Evolved, how's it going? Evolved, are you able to hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect.
So I actually had a question in regards to combos, because certain projects have an interesting categorization of combos. So I know tracksuits are a very specific trait that a lot of people in the community seem to be liking, and I can see that rarity going up over time. Is there any talk internally in terms of the team, or has there been any like voting or polling about maybe naming combos, like maybe doubles or triples that have a specific look to them that increase not only the value but also the aesthetic appeal to any given koalas?
Sorry, what do you mean? Like it talks in terms of the team internally, like us selecting certain traits to bring the value up?
No,
I
no,
didn't quite follow.
not necessarily you all determining what traits look the best, but I mean the community, you know, stating what traits they like in terms of combined, you know, qualities and traits. So like tracksuit with just the gold chain, just as an example, and then that having a nickname. Um, and so yeah, just kind of like categorizations of specific trait combinations or combos. I'm not sure if that was spoken about internally in terms of the team itself.
No, I don't think it ever was. And I think part of it that we liked is that tracksuits came out of nowhere, and I think we loved it. What we've seen with other communities is that is just completely created organically from the community members themselves. They find certain traits that they align with. Like I keep referring back to the apes a lot. One, because a couple of us are ape holders, but also they've been around for a while. But like you have like the space apes. So for us, it's really up to the community for people to find certain traits that they vibe with, or finding those other community members that you have a specific trait that you'll have or share or you want to have, and building those sub communities. The way we did the sub community channels was, part of them were from what people were reaching out that they wanted to see. The rest were based on voting, but really it's something that's fluid. If over time, sorry, oh, my throat just got really dry, my bad. Yeah, if over time, like we see that some of the channels that we build are not really getting any traction, and we have another group that's kind of gotten together and they want to do some stuff, well, we're happy to facilitate that and create a channel for you. So really, it is open to the community and all the members to kind of figure out the sub communities that you want and build from there.
For sure. And I guess like going back to apes just as an example, like if you go to rarity tools under apes in particular, there's actually a section there called matches. And matches are kind of like repeating traits that have similar qualities. So I guess what I was referring to is like a matches, but for koalas, where there's certain combos that increase the rarity and the aesthetic quality, but also the value. And I don't know if that was community driven at first, or that was organic based off of what the community found appeal in, and then it eventually became accepted by the core team, and there was just categories built like that. But that's kind of like an example, just like how board apes work with matches, just to have an assimilation there.
Okay, yeah, I think I understand it. There wasn't any talk in the team about it. Obviously, like we built certain traits that you'd have like an entire matching trait, like obviously spacesuit and space helmet. But no, nothing behind the scenes. But let me connect with the team offline and we'll take a closer look at it. I'd never noticed that for the apes and rarity tool. So let me poke around and I'll get back to you on that.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Mitchell, how's it going? Mitchell, are you able to hear us?
Hey, you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so I'm not entirely sure if you were talked about this in regards to your birch yet, because I actually had to turn it off and switch from my PC to my phone because I couldn't get my mic working. But in regards to the merch, is there was there any way, like, let's say, because I know there's a lot of like print on demand services out there that you guys would be able to use, but is there any way to like actually trace based off like the koalas in your wallet in order to, like, let's say someone wanted to print their koala that's in their wallet and then just do that? That way, like, I guess in terms of like you guys doing it and someone manually doing it for someone. Yeah, just I don't know if that was like something that someone already did before already.
Yeah, I'll look into it. We haven't really looked into the idea of setting something up where people can kind of plug in their wallet and pick something out, but it's definitely an option. I know there's a few kind of companies that are starting to really specialize in a lot of the merch for NFTs. And I know a couple people in that industry directly. So I will reach out and see, and if that's something that the larger community sees value in it, for sure we'll facilitate that and get that set up for everyone.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the potential in that is beyond just koalas, and the koalas would probably, if it can get launched through the koalas will like benefit the most because different projects will go to that and then they'll get their stuff done if it's already there. So it's just the potential benefit in terms of, like, I guess, income and all that stuff would be there for the koalas if it were to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I'll look into it. I like the idea.
Yeah, and then I mean, I'm also working on like laser etched. Like, I'm in the jewelry business, so I'm actually working on like laser etched pieces for myself and some other people. So if anyone really wanted something of their koala, you guys can shoot me a DM and stuff like that. So.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think we've created that channel, Koala Jobs. I think that might be also a good place for you to put something in there. And then that way people can kind of see what you're up to, some of your work and some of your skills, and then you can find people that might be interested in it.
Sounds good. All right, that's all I got.
Awesome, thanks.
All right,
guys. I'm gonna call up the last couple of people that are waiting to speak, and I think at that point we might call it, unless someone else from the team wants to keep it going for another while. But yeah, who is next? 3 Panel Crimes. Are you there?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How's it going?
Good. You?
Good. I can hear you, but I can't hear J3 or anybody else. I'm just gonna wait.
I think that's because I'm the only one talking.
Well, that could also be the thing. I mean, I was gonna say we could like throw some sort of like a seance type thing on it. You could send messages across the board or whatnot. Well, I guess my question was, hey, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. See? Yeah, he's alive. It works. I was wondering, considering the situation with chlamydia and koalas, like if there was going to be an airdrop for Zithromax.
I don't. Unfortunately, we don't have that in the roadmap yet.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to Jay about something maybe a little later. We'll see.
Okay. My DMs are always open.
I know, yeah. Crates are gonna look cool. But anyways, the serious question was in terms of like the drop and like how you guys put that out. I noticed it was pretty smooth and like there wasn't a lot of pissed off people who were burnt on gas fees. In terms of things going forward, I mean, I know you're still completing like roadmap 1, but if there's going to be like extra drops, or if you guys are launching other projects as well, like this is just something I'm curious about. What's a good way of avoiding gas wars when you're launching a product?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of ways, right? Like one of the things we did with the early mint pass, where we whitelisted a lot of IDs and actually allowed them up to 48 hours to mint. There were no gas wars. Basically, right now it's just the way Ethereum is set up. Whenever you release a large project, you have so many people trying to get a transaction within that same block. It's just unfortunately what we have to deal with. That's where you're starting to see a lot of these other chains off of the mainnet really become successful because they don't really have those issues for now, because at the same time they don't have the volume. But we've been keeping an eye on some of the other tactics that other projects have been doing, and either like whitelisting people. There is a project coming up. I can't remember which one, but they're basically going to have kind of like a ticketing system on the website. So when you log in, it puts you in the queue and you can't really access the actual minting page until a specific time. So then that way you're kind of just sitting and waiting and no one's really minting all at the same time. So we'll keep an eye on that. Honestly, like I've gotten into some pretty bad gas wars and not come out on top, and it doesn't feel great. So we will try to do whatever we can to provide the best experience for our community members moving forward.
Sweet. And what do you think about like adding a CAPTCHA or some sort of like a cap as to like how many things that like one wallet could mint, just to keep like bots from, buying 200 of the things or something like that?
Well, we did have, I think our limit was 15 NFTs per transaction. Other projects do 10, 3, 20, whatnot. We could potentially get into CAPTCHA, but the issue also with minting is that you don't necessarily need to mint through the website. Once that contract is up, people can mint directly through the contract. And that's actually what you're seeing some of the more experienced people in the space, especially like a lot of the flippers, is that they're not even waiting on the website. They're going directly to the contract and spamming it there.
Yeah.
And I mean, J3, this is kind of like your field, but I don't think there's any way that we can prevent people from minting directly on a contract.
Yeah, and to mitigate bots, I mean, it's the gas itself that's gonna prevent that from spamming the network. But we really can't do anything about automated minting and stuff. And like, it's just the only way to mitigate that is to make it more expensive to participate or spam in the network, and that's by design, I think. And I think more often than not, it's leading to high gas prices. So yeah, the CAPTCHA is a good idea for whitelisting wallets on Discord, so we don't have like bots just dropping wallets. But in terms of like, once the contract is up there, like, it's fair game, and the only way to stop spammers is the actual Ethereum cost of minting.
Gotcha. Or we could give them chlamydia, but
yeah, that's one way.
Well, we started. I'm going through the Spaces Questions channel, and I'm having a really hard time keeping it together and not laughing at some of these posts.
Ooh, what's going on? I haven't seen it.
Well, I think people have taken the whole chlamydia issue a little seriously, so I think we might be looking for a new calling to save koalas.
Zithromask airdrops. You heard it here first.
All right. I think unless anyone else wants to jump in, I think we're going to be calling it a night. Any of the team members on stage want to say a few last things before we hop off?
I guess maybe just thank you for everyone that came and showed up. It's the community really is amazing here, and I'm really proud to say that we do love every one of you very much, and that the community means so much. And to see this many people coming together on here, it would be awesome to see this grow, and every week, and we continue this, and we continue to grow and meet more people, and I just think that'd be really awesome. And I guess thank you again, everyone, for showing up.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Greatly appreciated. We will be doing these spaces weekly. I think we're gonna find some time. Maybe what we'll do is also switch them around in terms of timing, because I know this time works for some of us, but not for all of us. So either we do 2 different times, so twice a week, or an alternating week. But what we'll do is we'll throw up a post on the Discord to get people's input to see if this time works for a lot of us, or if people want to have different times and whatnot. We really are doing this for you, so please let us know, and any feedback is always welcome. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming up. We will post about a time and date for next week, and hopefully we see you all in here. Bye now.
Thank you, everyone.